I know I deserved that scholarship. I knew I earned it. I knew I was supposed to be there. So the season goes on. We get a couple games into the season, and a good friend of mine by the name of Inky Johnson ended up getting hurt. I'm sure a lot of y'all probably remember that game. And a couple days after that injury, we had a chance to go visit him at the hospital. And we went as a DB unit. And I remember Coach Slade going in first. I was probably about 4 guys behind him, and the whole DBs weren't even in the room yet. And as I came in, Coach Slade had asked Inky, how are you feeling? And Ink said something that changed the trajectory of my life, and he didn't even know it. He said, Coach, I'm at peace. And when he said that, it hit me like a ton of bricks. Because this guy almost lost his life. His arm was paralyzed. He was never going to play this game again, and he was at peace. And I was up here mad, frustrated, angry, upset about a scholarship. Not my life, a scholarship. So at that moment, that's when it hit me. For the second time, I almost missed my message in the middle of my mess. I was so busy focusing on myself, my personal ambitions and goals, I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing, so I wouldn't get what I was supposed to be getting. And in that particular moment there, I had to ask myself this. First of me asking what's all about me, what can I be giving the university? What can I be giving my teammates? And that's when it registered. I need to be focusing on what can I give to add value versus asking on what they need to give me. So at that point moving forward, I started working on becoming a better teammate, being there for those young guys who had other things going on, who didn't have support at home. I started working on being a better student athlete, taking care of my stuff in the classroom, being an example for my younger teammates, ended up getting on academic honor roll. I started working on being a community leader and actually doing stuff when they took us out and about, not just because we had to go do it. What I realized, I started giving my time, my energy, and my effort, and giving my all for the University of Tennessee, which what I was here to do in the first place, but I didn't know what it looks like. And it's amazing. The moment you stop focusing on yourself and start giving, you end up getting what you want by default. Because by the time that season ends, camp come around next year, I didn't have to go to coach and ask for my full ride scholarship. Coach came to me and said, hey, Derek, we want to give you a full ride scholarship at the University of Tennessee. And from that point moving forward, I had a chance to be one of the first in my family to graduate my bachelor's and my master's. So this is what I want to tell each and every one of you. A lot of times, it's not about you asking for stuff. Sometimes it's about you giving. And for order to you get what you want, to be more, to do more, happen, sometimes you got to give a little bit more time, a little bit more energy, a little bit more effort, a little bit more love, a little bit more care. Give a little bit more resources. You got to give a little bit more of those things on the front end. And if you do that long enough, sincerely enough, by default, you'll get everything you want along the way at the end of the journey. So as we get ready to wrap up, I want to encourage you a couple things with a couple things. And I call this a transition formula because this is one of the things I felt that it's helped me, but a lot of other people, and I want to leave this with you guys before we close. I said in the video, I believe you're either in transition, just came out of a transition, or a transition is on its way. So doing all those transitions I had throughout my life, I realized there was a couple things that kept reoccurring. So I created this formula to help me, and I believe it'll help you. So if you was writing this down, I would say write this down. T stands for takeaway, plus C stands for correlate, plus C stands for carryover, equals ST, successful transition. Now, what does that mean to you? The first T, takeaway. I believe everything you're growing through in life, not what you're going through, what you're growing through, is something you can take away from it. Good, bad, ugly, indifferent. What can you take away from it? So this is what I want to tell you. In the middle of your mess, don't miss your message. You're growing through something on purpose. What can you take away from it? Because it's going to be beneficial to you where you're at right now or where you're going in the future. Or it might not necessarily be beneficial to you, but it might be beneficial to somebody in your family or somebody that's watching you. So what's the takeaway? And once you figure out what the takeaway is, all right, the C, how does it correlate to where you're at right now or where you're going in the future? How does it correlate to your spouse, to your kids, or where they're going in the future? Because everything that you're going through might not necessarily be for you. Right. It may be for those people that's around you. So don't be so selfish thinking just about you. And then once you realize how it correlates, the next thing you got to do It's the other C, the carryover. How do you carry it over? Because having knowledge without applying it is like not knowing it. How do you carry over all those things that you've learned from 2020 and apply them today to get you farther ahead than where you were yesterday? And if you do those things right, the T plus a C plus a C, at some point in time, if you do it long enough, if you do it hard enough, it's going to equal the ST, a successful transition. So I just encourage each and every one of you along your journey that we call life, as you grow through whatever you're growing through, accept nothing, defy everything, and attack life. That's my time. God bless.